discussing about the research gap. What does this term mean? Research gap. It refers to the areas where there is lack of sufficient or comprehensive research. This creates opportunities for further investigation. Therefore, this session, we are going to look at common reasons for the existence of the research gap and how to identify the research gap. Let's dive in. What are major types of research gaps? There are many types of research gaps, but let's just look at the major ones. The first one is the gap in knowledge. That is a knowledge gap. This one arises when there is lack of information or lack of understanding about a specific aspect of a subject or about a phenomenon. And then it occurs where there is insufficient data, there is insufficient evidence, or there is insufficient research on a particular topic. Okay. Number two, we have methodological gaps. These are gaps that are arising from shortcomings that are related to research methods that are employed in previous studies. That is, previous studies were conducted, but there was a problem, there was a shortcoming in relation to the methods that were used. And these ones include maybe the study design, the sample size, the data collection techniques, or any other methods of analyzing data. The third one is the empirical gap. This is where there is insufficient evidence or studies to support or refute a hypothesis or a theory. And this one may result from lack of research conducted under specific conditions or within certain populations. Okay? When a certain population has not been researched about, that is a gap in empirical data. Okay? When research has not been conducted under specific conditions, that is a research gap in the area of empirical studies. The last one is theoretical gaps. Theoretical gaps arise from underdeveloped theoretical frameworks in the literature. And mostly it occurs when theories that are existing fail to adequately explain a phenomena, or they fail to explain relationships. Remember, I have said there are other types of research gaps, but here we have just looked at 4 major ones. Okay, so how do you identify the gap? How do you identify a research gap? Number one, in that area of your study, you have already identified a topic. You have already identified an area of study. Now go to the literature review in that area of study, in the journals, in the research papers. Go through the literature review. Conduct a very extensive literature review and understand the existing research in your field. Then look at the key theories, look at the key concepts, look at the findings. Pay attention to the areas where the literature is very scarce, where the literature conflicts or lacks recent updates. Okay? Then number two, analyze that existing literature. You are doing an analysis. What are you looking at? You are looking at the limitations in terms of the methodology. You are looking at the unanswered questions. You are looking at the inconsistencies in the findings. You are looking at areas that need clarifications. And you're also looking at how that existing research aligns with current trends and advancements in the field. Okay? That is where you'll find the gap. Then you can also consult an expert. You seek advice from an experienced researcher in that field. You can also engage professionals They provide you with insight into emerging topics and potential gaps in the literature in that field of study. Okay? Now let's look at the reasons for the existence of the research gaps. Number one, they arise because of incomplete understanding of a phenomenon. Okay? Research is often built on existing knowledge. That one we can agree. Most of the times, your research is built on existing knowledge. So if a particular phenomena, if a particular issue is not fully understood, it creates a gap. And therefore, this is what researchers address. This is what a student who is pursuing a study over a specific issue, this is what you're supposed to be addressing. This is what you're supposed to do. Conduct a more in-depth study in that area. Okay? That area that is not fully understood. You as a student, you come in and do in-depth studies. You explore different perspectives using new methodologies so that you can enhance understanding in that area. Number two, inconsistencies or contradictions in existing literature. So you as a researcher, when you encounter conflicting findings during your study, during your search for the literature, when you are searching through the literature review, and then you encounter conflicting findings, different interpretations, unresolved issues, that is a signal that you need to conduct further investigation and that a research is needed in that area. Okay? Then there are emerging trends and technologies. Of course, today the world is changing. Technology is growing. Every day there's a new discovery, there's a new technology. And even in areas of medicine, there are new discoveries every day. When there is emergence of new trends and technologies, definitely they create areas that have not been thoroughly explored. So you as a researcher should stay updated on the current developments so that you conduct research on emerging areas so that you fill these gaps. Okay? Then there's methodological limitations. If existing studies suffer from methodological flaws or limitations, it can actually create gaps in the understanding of a phenomenon. So improving research methodologies or adopting innovative approaches can help to overcome these limitations. All right. In conclusion to today's studies, here are some key takeaways. Number one, when you are developing a research gap, you identify the specific type of research gap and how it impacts the current study effectively. Then you ensure that these gaps contribute to the overall advancement of knowledge within a particular field or a discipline. Then reflect on future directions. Consider how addressing these research gaps contribute to the advancement of knowledge in the future. And then number three, emphasize on real-world impact. So you discuss how the development of research gaps in that area of your study can address practical challenges in the real world. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our study today. Thank you so much for joining our academic journey. If you have found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Give us a thumbs up, like, share. Also engage us in the comment section for any reviews, questions, and suggestions. Until next time, enjoy your researching. I am Lucy Wanjiru. Adios.